Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Ken, aka the Super Tech God. We are hours away from launch. I'm super excited. Cannot wait to play this game. I wanted to make this video because most of my friends and family that watch me stream are already pre-registered, ready to play Marvel Snap. They're pumped. They sent me a list of questions, so I said, you know what? I'll put them together and I will make a video to answer all their questions, and hopefully it can help you too. You might have the same questions and you're like, you know what, Ken, this is great. Or you might not, and you're like, wow, I didn't know that. So let's get right into it, shall we? We have, how do the ranks work in the game? Now, ranks are pretty straightforward. So you start off from the lowest rank, which is 1. You are a recruit. You go up to 5, which is an agent, 10, iron, bronze, etc., all the way up to infinite. When you get to infinite, you cannot go back lower, but of course, until then, you lose cubes, you will drop down in rank. So the goal is to always try to get to infinite, but you're just starting out, so you shouldn't even worry about infinite. Your goal should be worrying how to learn the cards, learn the gameplay, learn the combos and everything else, learn what your opponents might be playing at that time. So that's the way the ranks work. It basically, just like any other game, you go from 1 to 100, but of course, if you lose cubes on your way up that rank, your rank will go back down. So at the end of every season, the ranks refresh. If you're at infinite, you go back to 70. If you're at anything lower, you go back 30 levels. So just keep that in mind when you're playing, guys. So now, order of ranks, least to greatest. I think that would be nice, like a leaderboard. I believe that, and maybe they will put that out there, but once you guys start playing, join the official Marvel Snap Discord, leave your feedback in there, and I'm sure somebody will get back to you. And by the way, I got verified today, guys, so I'm excited about that. Let's keep that going. And if they do, okay, so does rank do anything for me in the game? So all ranks do is validate how many cubes you've gotten. So in this case, I've gotten enough to get 105 cubes. Basically, the way it works is for each level, you have to get 10 cubes. So for you to get to level 2, you have to get 1. You have to get a set of cubes, get to level 1, and then get 10 more cubes to get to rank 2. And that's how it works. So basically, that's how the cubes or rank do anything for you in this game, is validate how many cubes you have gotten. All right, number 3. How do numbers on the top of each card work? All right, well, let me explain that for you. Let's go down to make it easy. Nice 1 cost. So we got Deadpool here, okay? So all the cards on the left is the energy. It is the cost for the cards, or the cost for you to play these cards, okay? On the right is their power. The way this works is for each turn, you get an additional energy cost. So for example, on turn 1, you get 1. Turn 2, you get 2. 3, you get 3, and so on and so forth. So on turn 1, if you have Deadpool in your hand, you'll be able to play Deadpool because he's a 1 cost. Now, on that location you play Deadpool, it will give it 1 power. The purpose of the game here is to get the most power in the 2 locations out of the 3. So of course, if you play Deadpool on turn 1, he's giving that location 1 power. But we'll get more into that in a second. Let's focus back on this side. So for example, now if you go to turn 2 and you have Ant-Man and Deadpool in your hand, you can play both Ant-Man and Deadpool either at the same location, at one of the 3 locations, but either way, because they are 1 cost and you have 2 energy, you can play them both. Now the game is cool enough that if you don't have enough energy, it will tell you if you try to play a card. But that is basically what the card on the left stands for. So for example, on turn 2, if you have one of the 2 cost cards in your hand, like Bucky Barnes here, you can play him because he costs 2 energy. Of course, you cannot play him and Ant-Man because you only have 2 energy on turn 2. So you have to make a decision. What cards do you want to play? Do you want to play 2 1s, or do you want to play 1 2? And that's basically how the left number works. Now, does that change at any time? Depending on what kind of cards are played, depending on what locations you are, it might. But again, your focus is to know on the left is the energy, and on the right is power. So now let's get into that. So like I said, your goal is to win 2 out of the 3 locations. So if you play this card on a location, it will become 1 Now, again, your opponent might play something better, something less. They could play a 0. We don't know. But your goal is to win 2 out of 3 locations. So you want to kind of put the most power on that location. Now, I say that because I've won locations with even just 1, right? It all depends, but that is the goal. So this is what this stands for, power. Now, cards have from 0 all the way to 20. See? Power. Yes, one of my favorite cards, Infinite. So, the goal here, again, gonna say it, is to win 2 out of 3 locations based on how much power you put on those locations. So you always want to remember that on the right side. Now, this can always change depending, again, on card abilities, on locations, etc., etc. So left is the energy cost, right is the power. All right, now, how does locations work? You know what, let's jump into a game so we can look at that and see. So locations are, could vary. So we have 3 locations for every match, and they all reveal after each turn. So turn 1, 1 reveal, turn 2, the second one reveal, turn 3, the last one reveal. So each location might have a different ability, or it might have a, so it will tell you, hey, if you play a card here and that's the only card there, you get 5+ power. Play a card here, it might lose, it's 25% chance to get destroyed. Or in this case, Kylan, you cannot play any cards here after turn 4. All right, so as you can see, I have no 1 cost cards, and if I try to play anything else, it's telling me I don't have any energy. So we'll skip this turn. All right. Max got for us, and he played a Nightcrawler, which is a 1 cost. See here? So let's see. Now, I can play the 2 costs there, but again, Carnage has an ability to destroy other cards in location and get 2+ power for each. We're not going to play there. Now, the big house is the second location. The cards that cost 4, 5, or 6 cannot be played here. So that's bad for majority of the cards in my hand. So we'll skip this turn as well. So see, as you can see already, the goal here to have your starter deck is to have some 1s, some 2s, and some 3s. So at least you get to play on those turns. All right, so now the last is Kung Lun. Now, Kung Lun is when a card moves here, give it 2+ power. So we don't have any cards that move there, but if he moved Nightcrawler there, Nightcrawler would go from a 2 power to a 4 power. Now, we're gonna play Hood and Carnage on the left. As I said, he moved Nightcrawler, and now Nightcrawler is a 4. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to play my 1 costs here. Let's see if they're going to do anything else. All right, so far it looks like we are winning the left side. All right, so now we can play Death and Aves. They snapped. Snap. All right, so that means this is for 8 cubes, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. All right, so we won 2 of the 3 locations here. We won Kylan and Kung Lun. We have the victory. So we've gotten 8 cubes for that, guys, and that's how that works. That's how locations works. Hope that really helped you guys out with that. All right, so next question. What do variants do other than look cool? Well, that's all they do, guys. They look cool. That's what variants do. And I'm so happy for that, because you can buy variants. You know, you don't have to, but you can. So the fact that they just look cool, for example, this awesome Doom variant that I've gotten caches, the fact they look so cool is that it makes your collection look cool. That's all it does. It makes your collection look amazing. You have different variants than other people. Everybody has the same variants. Some people do, but that is basically it. They don't do anything else besides look cool, because it helps with the people who are out there buying up cards, don't have any type of special powers, right? Just looks cool. So I'm happy about that. That's what's so cool about Marvel Snap. You're not buying your way into victory. You're just buying your way for cards to look good. You still have to play the same type of strategy that anybody else would with those cards, or different strategy, whatever it does to help you win. But nobody has the upper hand by spending. And this game is totally free to play. That's the best part about it. All right, so how do seasons work, and what can seasons get you? Now, so the way seasons work, every season they introduce a new card. So for season 2, I remember it was Wave. Season 3 was Thor, and Jane Foster and Destroyer, I believe. Yep. Season 5 was our boy Nick Fury, and this season is now the Symbiote Invasion, which gave us Miles Morales. So what's cool with the seasons are introduce new cards, and they give you the ability to buy battle passes for each season. So I recommend buying it if you can, but of course the game is totally free to play. But if you buy the battle pass, you get the new card or cards, you get variants, you get avatars, you get gold, you get a whole bunch of things for $10 for that month. So that's basically how the seasons work. They introduce new cards, new stages, and of course the battle pass for that month. Battle passes go from $10 to $14, $15. All right, so what happens when one card cancels out another unintentionally? Example, you said Chavez will not always come on turn 6 if another card cancels it out. So in one of my streams, yes, if I play Jubilee, Jubilee pulls Chavez. Chavez's ability is she will always play on turn 6. But if Jubilee pulls out of my deck, she's not playing on turn 6, so she's canceled out. That's the way I would say it. Or if I'm playing against someone that uses a Yondu, and a Yondu destroys Chavez, Chavez is gone. Or somebody plays Mantis and takes my Chavez, or even Cable, that's a wrap. Chavez is. How do cubes help you score? So the way cubes work basically is, like I said before, it helps you with your rank. That's all it does. So the more cubes you have, the higher your rank is. And that's basically it. As I said before, you should always focus on learning how to play the game, learning what the cards do, learning what stages are, learning what your opponents might play, and then focus on cube gathering or cube collecting. Because if you focus too much on that, you might miss out on how cool these cards are, how much fun the game is. So my advice is definitely enjoy. You're gonna, if you're gonna take some losses, you will, but at least know how these cards work and what's best for you, what better strategy you can have to start your run. When do you snap? Great question. So as you saw there, I snapped because I knew I was winning. So those are the two times I would say you should snap. When you know for certain you're going to win, or if you want to bluff and get your opponent to retreat. So what happens is sometimes you snap, an opponent be like, oh my gosh, they snap, they're going to win, I'm retreating. But in most cases, you're bluffing them. So if you have cubes to give up, definitely do that for the bluff part of it. But if you know for certain you're going to win, just like I felt I was going to win there, because they couldn't play too many cards to get anything on the left. And of course, I had two strong cards on the right. Maybe they have the Shang-Chi that could have won, but I had faith I was going to win. Hit that snap button, got those 8 cubes. But again, I can't tell you when to snap. You gotta know, you gotta have that feeling when you snap. Are negative cards good or bad, or do they depend on the game? So negative card. Let's take a quick look here. So if we look at, for example, the hood, it is a -2 power. So to me, they're bad. Okay, you don't want -2 on a location unless you're going to give up on that location, or if you cannot destroy the card on that location. Most people that play the hood play it with cards like Carnage, Venom, or even Killmonger to get rid of those negative cards. So it's definitely bad because they give negative power to that location. But of course, in this case, he has an ability which will pull out a demon, which is a 1/6. So even if you play hood and then demon on the same location, you're basically getting a 2/4. But again, I think it's bad, so that's my take on it. And can you also keep filming where you are? Yes, I will continue to film with the camera facing this way. I might have the camera a bit lower, but I'm gonna film out here. I know this is a, everybody likes to see my face, so put it on. So we'll keep it here. But I want to put this video out tonight. So if you see it tonight or early in the morning, and I start streaming tomorrow, I'll be streaming in with the other view, because I'll be in that room for the majority of the day for launch, playing, streaming, having people come into the stream and help them out with their decks. It's gonna be super fun tomorrow, guys. Can't wait. Shout out to Second Dinner again. These guys are amazing putting this game together. Been playing it since the beta started. I'm so happy I got involved, and wow, this game is great. A lot of cool people. The community is phenomenal. Yeah, guys, thanks again for the questions. Thanks again for coming. We're gonna have more videos where I kind of answer a bunch of questions. You can always reach out to me on Discord. You can also find me on Twitter at SuperTechGod, or leave comments down below. I will definitely try my best to get back to you. So guys, good luck. Wish you all the best. I don't know when you're gonna queue up with me. If you guys will queue up with me, I'd probably further up in the ranks. But if you do, see Ken, give me the hello twice, so I know you watched the video. Thanks, guys.